Welcome to Best Life with Melanie. Thank you for joining me today. I just want you guys to know and understand what we are doing here at Best Life with Melanie. So when you think about harmony, when you're thinking about peace and unity within yourself, that's what Best Life provides for us, right? I get to connect with you, you get to connect with me. We share ideas about how we have our best life in the middle of turmoil and kids throwing stuff everywhere. You know what? We are still determined to have our best life. So don't you miss the episode. Come on in, bring in all of those things where you can leave out of here ready to conquer the world. Welcome to Best Life with Melanie, and I am so excited about this series we're jumping into. So the name of this one is Like a Boss, Women in Power. I love it. I love it. It's a little black girl magic going on up in here today. So if you could feel what I feel, guys, y'all would be super, super excited. But today we have the Honorable Judge Aisha Clark right here with us. Welcome.
Thank you. And hello, everybody.
So I just want to tell y'all just a little bit about this amazing woman, right? So she is the city court judge for Division C. And she came in unopposed. Why? Because she's just simply amazing.
And God is good.
And God is good.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. Prior to that, she was the assistant city attorney here in Monroe, Louisiana. And then also she graduated from GSU.
I thought you knew.
Hey. And Southern Law Center. So you
Absolutely.
already know. This is all black girl magic right here.
Yes, and I'm so very, very, very honored to be here. Thank you so much for asking me to come.
Oh, I'm amazed that you are here with me today.
Oh.
So we're gonna let Judge Clark let her hair down, and we're gonna talk about a few things.
Okay,
Talk
let's
about
do
what
it.
power means to you. You know, encourage some ladies out there to be as amazing as you are, and you know, with God's grace, that we are able to do the things that God has already set forth for us to do. So I'm super excited about you being here.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about this journey, right? From that little girl to judgeship. So what do you think about that?
Well, I can honestly tell you it has been one mind-blowing, amazing ride.
Wow.
Full of mountaintops and valleys. This has been my heart's desire. It was my dream since I was a very little girl. And I know that most people are like, oh, well, how do you know that that's what you wanted to do or be when you were a little girl? I didn't necessarily see myself just as Judge Aisha Clark.
Okay.
The deal was, all I knew was that I had a heart for people.
Wow.
And I wanted to be a voice for people who weren't heard.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the person who would help no matter what. I never thought that it would happen this quickly.
Yeah.
But it kind of just took wings.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when you say, God, not me, but you. And I want whatever you want for my life. Whatever door that you have for me to go through, I'll go through it. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Even if it means it doesn't feel good.
Uh-oh.
And I can tell you there have been a lot of it doesn't feel quite so good moments.
Right.
But it all worked out for my good.
Now.
Yes.
Ain't God
Yes.
good though? Like,
All
I
the
mean,
time.
you know, we think about it all the time. So you're walking and you trip over something, you're like, oh my goodness, I almost fell. And you know, you feel embarrassed, you feel like you may be hurt, but after a while, you get up and you keep going on your journey.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because the fact is that if everything was always great, you would never truly learn how to be humble.
Judge Clark, that's amazing.
It's real life.
That is so factual.
Every time I've had a storm in my life, and there have been plenty, every time that there has been a problem or issue, because I'm human, from bad relationships to crazy friendships to family issues at times,
Right.
but you keep pushing.
Keep pushing.
And no matter what, God always has to be first, because that's how you can get back up.
That's right. That's right. That's good. Thank you. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Okay, I got
My
some
heart.
chills. I
That's
got some
just my
chills
heart.
right now. You know, we talked about those peaks and, you know, valleys. So let's talk about some challenges of being a woman
In the judiciary.
Yeah. Yeah, right
Um,
here in Northeast Louisiana, in the midst of a group of system that not many people look like you.
It has been a very, very exciting, but also, and I don't just use humbling just because it sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
but it has always been a humbling experience, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
As many of you may know, specifically, I am the second African American female judge
Wow.
on the bench in Monroe, Louisiana.
Wow.
The Honorable Judge Tammy Lee was the first.
Amazing.
It is very interesting how sometimes people can perceive you. When I first was elected, I technically was the youngest judge on the bench. So that came with, does that little girl really know what she's doing?
Ah.
And you sit back and say, please don't let the lip gloss and the hair fool you. Because lots of people had no idea. You read a few things about me, but some people don't know that I was an assistant district attorney in Orleans Parish.
I did read that about you.
And it was for felonies.
So it wasn't just for like
It wasn't just misdemeanors or traffic.
Right.
No, it was felonies, from rapes to drugs to. I've only sat on about probably 2 murder cases when I was there. Hundreds and hundreds of trials, because this was right after Hurricane Katrina. It was a very interesting time in and of itself. And you had to push people through the system. They had to have their day in court because they were spread out all over the United States.
All over the United States.
Exactly. I was also a law clerk for a wonderful, wonderful judge. Her name is Elizabeth Wolf,
Wow.
out of Amite, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
I got a chance to walk with her as she entered her first season in the judiciary in a very small parish.
That's
So
amazing.
It literally was.
And that was the Lord preparing you for this journey.
This day.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh.
So every single thing, and I'll tell you, I didn't live in New Orleans. I literally drove from Baton Rouge to New Orleans every single day. I literally drove from Baton Rouge to Amite, Louisiana every single day. I had a third job that I worked before that. That was in Hammond, Louisiana,
Okay.
in a private practice. And I was an associate. That was like my time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, but I really want to get some real trial experience. That's how I got to New Orleans.
Okay.
My day started at 3 a.m.
Wow.
And they may not end till midnight or 1, and I still had to drive back to Baton Rouge to do it all again the next day. I'm saying that to say, so many times people may think that something looks glamorous, or it seems as if it was easy to get there or easy to do, but there is always a story
Yes.
behind what you see.
Yes.
And it always is one of work and sacrifice, no matter what.
And that sacrifice is, that word is huge. It holds so much weight, right? And we all have levels of sacrifice, but in order for you to be successful,
You gotta be willing to sacrifice.
you gotta be willing to do it.
If I tell you, that's something that I will tell young people until I take my last breath. You gotta be willing to sacrifice, and you have to be willing to work.
That's good.
And that's something that my parents instilled in me from a very, very young age. I watched my dad, if there was $1 to be made in doing anything, that man, Kirk Clark, would put in the work.
Wow.
Most people would not believe the amount of work my dad does. I can remember, he probably will kill me, but nevertheless, I'm still gonna tell the story.
Dad was sorry.
And most people don't know, I did grow up in the projects, Newtown, and on Burr Jones Lane.
Hello, fam. Hello,
All day,
fam.
all day.
Yeah.
My dad wanted to create a job because he's a born entrepreneur.
Okay.
So he decided that he was going to paint driftwood Do you know what driftwood is?
Like
The wood that drifts on top of
the
the water
water.
that you go to the
yeah.
bayou to get.
Okay, Dad. Okay,
And
Dad.
we went out there to get it.
Oh, y'all went. Oh,
As a family.
yeah.
We
Okay.
went to get it. And
I love Daddy already. Dad, I'm in love.
And he literally would put it on the back of a truck and end up making beautiful vases. He would varnish them, and I hope I'm using the right word, Daddy. Varnish, shellac, just creative. He made jobs for himself,
That is amazing.
and he taught us to work. He definitely did.
And so that's where you learn to deal with those challenges, whatever they may be.
Life prepares you for life, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
You can think that the situations or people that you encounter or circumstances that you encounter just are haphazard, but that's never true. Every single moment, every single meeting, every single person, every single argument, every single moment of frustration, it is purposed because it propels you
My God.
every single time.
Judge Clark, that is so good. And we need to
Literally.
just sit in that, right, family? Sit in that every single thing. So when that discouragement, frustration, especially in the midst of what we in right now, we just gotta count it all joy.
You have to. But can I tell you this?
Tell me.
I literally believe in this moment, in the moment that we are endeavoring to call a worldwide pandemic, I literally believe that God has given us a second chance in this very moment. How many times before this pandemic occurred did your day turn to night and your night turn to day? Maybe you would see your kids, you make sure that they would do their homework. But when was there really moments that y'all could really sit down and fellowship and talk? Now you can.
And God gave us 6 months.
Literally. To bring your babies home, to talk to them, to pour into them, to make sure they're eating right. Because now you can't go out to fast food restaurants all the time. It's purpose even in a pandemic.
You know, and this is so fitting that you say that, because I was just talking to my older son. So he went to college this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
yay.
I'm trying to deal though, you know what I'm saying? And he's headed to law school too. I'm so proud of him.
Awesomeness.
Yeah, he's at Louisiana College right now.
Okay.
So he wants to come home. Prior to the pandemic, you know, when he was, man, when I get to school, Mom, I'm not coming back home. You know what I'm saying?
want to go back.
Now I get a phone call every 2 or 3 weeks. Mom, I'm headed home. What you cooking tonight? And I'm telling you, it's what you said. You know, God has given us that second chance
Literally.
to rebuild our relationships, not just with our children, but with our sisters,
Yes, our
sisters,
sisters, husbands,
fathers,
wives,
husbands,
families,
wives.
all together.
yes, girlfriends,
Yes.
girlfriends. You know what I'm saying?
Because you would never normally, everybody's on the go.
You don't have time.
You may have a girls' night, once every 2 months sometimes?
If 3 or 4
Literally.
with kids and their activity, you know, football season, basketball season, you can't see anybody.
And I know I say literally a lot, but that word, I don't know. It seems like it's just a tangible word I like to put my hands on.
That's a good one. I got some too, but I'm not gonna say it because you Judge Clark. My words is a little different.
But I
say
get
all
it,
the
I
time
get it,
different.
I get it.
Yeah.
It has been a moment where we can have a second opportunity to make things right. And if there were things that you say that you never have time to do, for me, my one confession, eating right. Every single day you can stop by Johnny's, Pizza Hut, have chicken.
Right. Whatever you want at your fingertips.
But now, I just cooked some red beans and rice the other night.
Mm.
I said, well, goodness. If it's time to do it, it's just time to do it. Skills that you need to hone on, fine tune.
Like those baseboards that
That you never
confession.
clean.
Oh my gosh, my confession. Like,
Talk to me.
honey, I think my house was like a bachelor pad before pandemic.
Cause
Like,
you just go. You only
I
go.
bought the stuff and didn't even put it on the walls. Like, we didn't have pictures on the walls or anything.
You don't even know. My life, my house
Mhm.
is for sleeping.
Oh,
So
That's all we did.
relaxation before
That's all we did.
before the pandemic, there was no such thing. So I'm always on the go, always
Yeah.
gone, always
Yeah.
gone. I get it. I
Guess
definitely
what?
get
I
it.
have a recliner now. I've
can
wanted one for
relax and
10
rest.
years.
Yes.
And I finally got one because, we at home, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go and get that recliner. So those are things that, this is brought to us. And so those challenges, make lemonade out of lemon.
All day, every day.
Okay, I love it. That's that black girl magic thing. We're gonna move into another little era here. So, in the middle of this current racial injustice climate, how has that affected court, or how's your interaction with people coming in, or even other co-workers? Of course, in the midst of a pandemic, your spirit is one that is full of joy. So I can imagine how you've been able to help folks get outside of themselves. But tell me, what is that experience like in court right now?
I honestly have to say this. Remember when I told you that I didn't rehearse anything?
Yes.
And it was for this very moment.
Yes.
Because after I saw that question, I just wanted it to be fresh. Initially, walking into the court the courtroom after George Floyd, Breonna, people presume a lot. But the thing about me is that when you walk into my courtroom, what I need you to feel and what I need you to know is that justice is always going to prevail.
Praise God for that.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, and I'm gonna put a pin right there, but I have to share this because it's connected. When you apply for law school, you have to write a personal statement.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows that Lady Justice is the lady holding the scales, and they have a blindfold over her eyes.
Right.
Well, in my personal statement, I disagreed with the blind Lady Justice.
Mm-hmm.
What I stated is that I believe that justice has to have eyes to see. Justice has to have eyes to see every single person, every single situation. I have to be able to see that person's history. I have to be able to see that person's culture. I have to be able to see how that person thinks, because those are all the things that come into play as to why a person has done something, how they feel about something, how they handle me. And I have to be able to be compassionate enough not to prejudge them based on their situation or their disposition. And I have to make sure that I even-handedly, I'll say that again, even-handedly make sure that the law is poured out.
My goodness.
I don't want people to walk in my courtroom presuming that, oh, she's angry because everybody is angry. Ma'am, sir, it wouldn't be justice.
It would not be justice.
It would be foolery. And people would feel as if literally there is no justice and no peace.
That's right.
Not in Division C.
That is so amazing. That is so amazing.
That is my truth. I can't do anything but be a representative of, first and foremost, God. And then two, of what justice is.
That's right.
The black letter of the law. In order for the system to work, it has to be even-handedly poured out for each and every individual. I can't group everybody together. I can't group every sex together. I can't group every race together. I have to let you have your very own moment.
And that's why that blindfold has to be taken off so you can see
Absolutely.
every person individually.
Now, and let me say this. Now, the fact is that the law is the law.
That's true.
Because it is black and white.
That's right.
But this is how it works. When an individual comes before the court, sometimes there is grace and there's mercy that can be given. What do you do when you see a angry 14-year-old? Because I sit on a multi-jurisdictional bench. I am a juvenile court judge, I am a criminal court judge, and I am a civil court judge.
Wow. I don't think I knew that.
Oh, yeah. when I see young people, which I see right now, lots, some of them are mad. Some of them are angry, some of them are frustrated, some of them don't know any better.
Right.
Some of them are raising themselves. Some of them feel misunderstood. They feel like every adult never listens.
Right.
Well, guess what?
I just met amazing Judge Clark.
And I'm here to listen. So all that other stuff that
We
you
don't
told
have to
all
worry
those
about
other
that.
people,
Right.
you don't. You talk to me. I'm here.
Right.
I'm not holding your yesterday against you. Now, there are consequences and repercussions for your yesterday.
That's right.
And we have to learn from those things.
Right.
But because you are before me, what I want to make sure is that this is the last time you ever have to stand before a judge. Period.
That's good stuff.
You have to be able to be open to hearing and seeing a person's story and give grace when you can.
Right.
But always handle it based on the black letter of the law.
My goodness. My goodness. And you know, when you say it, it seems so simple.
It honestly is. Now, it may be difficult for some people to separate things in that moment.
Right.
But the truth is that as a judge, I am literally called to rightly divide the truth. I have to be able to hear it. When y'all telling tales to me, I can say,
Oh, okay.
you know what?
Oh.
I heard you when you said that. But let me tell you what I believe. And sometimes people are shocked, not just young folk. Sometimes older people are shocked. They believe that they can come with their prepared story
Right.
because they practiced it at home. And I'm just going to say, yes.
Okay.
And I'm really saying no.
Right. Right.
No.
You know what? I learned this some time ago. It was a manager of mine, and I was young, and so she, it was a customer service situation.
Absolutely.
And so somebody irate screaming at you, and you just shake your head while they're talking. Okay, and she said, just shake your head, and then when they finish, you say no. Oh.
And have a great day.
See you
Wonderful
later.
to meet you. Yes, seriously.
So I'm sure you have to use those tactics in court sometimes.
I do, but the beauty of it is that as a judge, I always get the final say.
Yeah.
So instead of allowing people to think that their lies really went unheard or that I believe them,
Right.
I get to say, and all night, let me say this. No matter what a person says, you must always have respect for them.
Right.
You don't talk to people as if they are beneath you or you are above them. No, I'll meet you exactly where you are. But I'm not going to let you walk around thinking that your lies are truth and people actually... I told a young lady, I'll never forget, I need you not to tell anybody else that ever again. And she was
Not
like,
ever
no.
again.
She's like, no, Judge, it's true. I'm not gonna go get a book to show you. But I promise, trust me, that statement that you just made is not even physically possible, and it's not the truth.
Under any circumstances, ma'am.
Created or not, at all. She was like, okay.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
I from my heart to yours.
Okay.
I just needed to say that.
I just want to give you a little tip right
just
there.
a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, you know what? I am so grateful for you being candid in that moment.
Oh,
Being able to speak your truth.
I can never be anyone but me.
That's amazing.
Some people may not like it, but it's okay.
I think a lot of us like it because you didn't even have an opponent. We like it. Look at God.
That means a lot. Yes, God is so
right.
amazing.
That's
He's
right.
so good and faithful.
And because your work shows, in how you've been compassionate to constituents, citizens that came through Division C. And so that, God is so good to us. And we're grateful for that.
Absolutely.
But you need to know your black girl magic is working.
Oh,
and we're grateful.
Thank you.
We're grateful for you to represent us.
That means, ooh, you're not gonna make me cry. That means the world to me. Because all I want to do is make my family and community proud. I want them to be able to say they know, you know what, no matter what, even if I was wrong, Judge Clark was still compassionate.
That's right.
She told me what the law says. She educated me on
That's
it.
right.
And she was fair.
That's right.
In good or bad times, because people stand before me at some of the most vulnerable times in their lives.
That's right. That's right.
I get to see some of the most intimate and heartbreaking moments that people will ever go through. And they don't need someone judging them.
Right.
I tell people all the time, I am a judge, but I'm not the eternal judge. So I don't want you to feel that way.
Right.
I preside over the law.
Right.
That means I'm the representative that says, this is what the law says. I'm going to hear what you say. I'm going to hear what they say. I'm going to look at the evidence. I'm going to look at the facts. And then I'm going to issue a ruling based on the law.
That's it.
Period.
What you say, but I'm not the
eternal judge. No.
Don't even put you there, right?
Please don't. Please don't.
So look, Judge Clark, I could sit here and girlfriend chat with you all day.
Likewise.
I mean, really, I could. But I want you to tell all those young girls in Burr Jones over in the Booker T area, all across, these neighborhoods and across America, and let them know exactly the journey, what is meant to you, and how they can be encouraged.
Well, the first thing that I will say to every young lady listening to me or that can see my face or hear my voice is that if you are willing to put in the work, the sky is the limit.
Yes.
Your environment, where you were born, the circumstances that you were conceived in does not dictate the finality of your journey. I am a second generation college graduate. My mom was the first. That means the very first person in my family to graduate from college was my mom. I was the second.
Wow.
And it didn't happen because we had money in the bank. It happened because I was willing to do whatever I needed to do to get scholarships, financial aid, and that's what you can do. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money to do it. Where there's a will, there's a way. Always. And Sally Mae does not discriminate.
Now.
And also, it doesn't matter what society tells you that you have to look like in order to get to a certain place or to do a certain thing. I'm a living witness. You don't have to be a size 6, and it's okay to be a size 26. We just want you to be healthy.
Now.
The sky is the limit. Every morning that you wake up, you have to purpose in your heart to say that I am who God says I am, and I can do all God says I can do. And I'll tell you, some days you may not feel it, but you just have to believe it.
You are some kind of amazing.
Oh, you cannot make me cry.
I'm gonna try not to,
Please don't.
But I just want to thank you so much for being here, for encouraging me, for encouraging others. For taking your time out to be with us here at Best Life.
I am honored.
Giving folks tools to live their best life in spite of, right?
Absolutely.
And so I'm just so grateful that you decided to stop in on this journey with me.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And listen, before our mascara starts rolling, we're going to say goodbye to everyone right here at Best Life. Thank you. God bless you.